Time for some BWR racing now. Tillotson T4s, the senior grid, Alistair Tinker and Henry Bell on the front row from Eddie and John Nuttall with Oliver Greening at the rear. In junior, it's William Omar, Harry Ward, Brandon Edwards, Danny Elson and Harley Drake. Non-starts for Sammy Johnson and Bradley Harris. But let's go racing here at Shenington, and we're away! And it's a great start from pole position for Alistair Tinker. But on the inside of John Nuttall, that's Henry Bell. He slides in into Cafe Corner. We're up and away in junior. Will Omar has won everything so far this weekend. He wants to keep that perfect score by winning every single race this weekend here at Shenington. Now to the inside line. Whoa! Big sideways moment there for Eddie Nuttall. And that's enough to allow both John Nuttall and Oliver Greening to get through past him. So not a great position to be in at all. And that's a big headache there, I'm afraid, for Eddie Nuttall, who drifts wide and out of position. So now he's got to try and chase after the O-plate, Oliver Greening. John Nuttall still third for the moment as he chases down Alistair Tinker and Henry Bell. There's a Peter Pan joke in there somewhere, but I'm too busy with this duel between the two of them to make it right now. Answers on a postcard, please, as Tinker leads Bell. On the inside, that's Eddie Nuttall. Gets the run up towards Cafe. He's side by side with Greening through Park Bend, but he hasn't been able to finish off the move. Omar is your leader, though, in junior, ahead of Brandon Edwards. Then Drake, Elson and Ward. Still they're squabbling out front as Tinker leads Bell, but that is John Nuttall trying to get through in a second position ahead of Henry Bell. Hasn't been able to make the move as through the chicane they go, and that's Nuttall now in front of Oliver Greening. So he has got through into fourth position. Great dueling between the two of them. Took a little bit of a moment to make it happen, but certainly that's what we got. Now the 23, John Nuttall, swarming around behind Henry Bell. Out of the Wilkins complex, along the start finish straight, up towards Park Bend. Flat out on the inside, Henry Bell getting side by side with Tinker, and he's through. So Bell heads the pack. Excellently done there from Henry Bell. And he takes the lead then on lap number 4. Excellently done. Meanwhile, there's a great duel going on in junior, and that's for second position in the class. That's Brandon Edwards dueling with Harley Drake. Very close indeed between them. Not a lot in it either, as Harry Ward is very close to them. So that could go on and on and on. But it's Henry Bell who leads John Nuttall. He's got into second place now in front of Alistair Tinker. So it's Bell, Nuttall, Tinker. So what can John Nuttall do about the race leader? Can we get 3 different leaders in this race? We've already had Alistair Tinker, we've already had Henry Bell, but it looks to me as though John Nuttall fancies his chances of taking the lead in this one as well. And our timing screens come back. Excellent. So Henry Bell now in front of John Nuttall with Alistair Tinker in third position. Then it's Eddie Nuttall in front of Oliver Greening. Will Omar still the leader in junior for the moment, looking absolutely dominant. On the inside line comes John Nuttall and takes the lead away from Henry Bell. Out of Stratford Hairpin, a long runway, and up to the Bruno Ferrari chicane again. Excellent stuff. So John Nuttall is your new leader. Henry Bell second, third is Alistair Tinker. Still a bit of a gap back to Nuttall and Greening, but Eddie Nuttall holding his nerve at the moment. Look at the squabble now as John Nuttall is trying to get away from Henry Bell and Alistair Tinker. Pulling away out in front, getting that little bit of breathing space that he needs to be comfortable, as now John Nuttall is the leader of this race on lap number 5. Into 6 we go. Still a great duel going on in junior as Will Omar has just disappeared. He's in senior pace at the moment out in front. So Will Omar is just dominating it as through come the rest of them, and that's going to be Edwards side by side with Drake. Ward is right in there as well. Very close indeed as they run so close in proximity. But that battle in junior is going down to the wire, I'm sure. And it's for second position, it's not for the victory. William Omar is very nearly catching up with the seniors at this rate. Had they started together, he might well be knocking on the door of Oliver Greening. Up the inside, oh, beautifully done from Alistair Tinker. He had 3 wheels on the deck and 1 in the air under braking, and managed to get the kart turned in beautifully. So that's all done and dusted then for Alistair Tinker in front of Henry Bell. Sweeping through Park, out of Cafe, back with the juniors, and it's getting pretty tight as Harry Ward looks over his shoulder, but it's the other shoulder he needs to be keeping an eye on, as there is Brandon Edwards eating up the exhaust fumes and hoping to make a move or two of his own. It's going to be tight all the way. But so far, so good in junior. Will Omar's got a beautiful lead over Harley Drake now, as Ward and Edwards continue to settle their differences on the track. Danny Elson is just trying to stay with them at this moment in time. on the back straight, through to Hanger. We've still got the senior battle raging and getting on afoot. John Nuttall, Alistair Tinker, Henry Bell. Henry Bell fancies his chances to get back past Alistair Tinker once again. With Alistair Tinker having sorted his position out, sorted out his tyres and got himself in a second position. Here's the battle for the lead though. Will Omar having a problem by the look of it. He's lost some time, and that's Harley Drake catching and passing. So Harley Drake gets in front of Will Omar, and he's delighted with it. So it's not quite so one-way traffic as Will Omar would have liked. Here's the senior class battle once again. No worries for John Nuttall, but Alistair Tinker fancies the lead back. All three of these guys have led at least one lap over the first half of the race though. John Nuttall, Alistair Tinker and Henry Bell have all been in the lead of this race, and it's hard to know who's going to get the job done. It's what we love about karting, and what in particular I love about Tillotson T4s. No teams, just turn up with your kart, go racing. It's the only category here this weekend that I've actually competed in a race at, and I'm really hoping that if my fitness regime, being based out in the hot, sweltering heat of Asia, is going to work well in 2025, then maybe I can get back on the grid again. Omar goes wheel to wheel with the new junior leader, Harley Drake, still holding his position for the moment. Back to senior, and John Nuttall and Alistair Tinker have both done their personal best laps on that one. The fastest lap of the race, though, is from Henry Bell, who's done a 49.278 at this point. So very close indeed between the top three. So Henry Bell is actually the faster of the three, but on the last lap he lost a fair bit of time. Now he's got to try and fight it back. Through they come again. At the end of this one, they'll have just 3 laps remaining. Nuttall, Tinker, and Henry Bell, who is definitely gaining some ground back again. He crosses the line. He's just done the new fastest lap, a 49.14. So that is massive from Henry Bell. As meanwhile, William Omar again hustles Harley Drake. Can he get the run? Up to the hairpin. Beautiful defense from Drake, but he drifts a little bit wide off the exit of the turn. This could be Omar's opportunity. He looks right, can't get there, looks left, can't get there again. Back to the battle again from the seniors, up to the chicane, and Tinker is still hustling the leader, John Nuttall. He's now getting a bit of assistance from Henry Bell. That fastest lap is definitely giving him a little bit of impetus to go after John Nuttall, but they need to work together at the moment. Henry Bell and Alistair Tinker. Second and third for the moment. Is there enough time to get back on terms with John Nuttall, who crosses the line in the lead of the race? Stalemate between the three of them for the moment. Nuttall, Tinker, Bell, 2 laps to go. Alistair Tinker not quite close enough to get an overtaking move done on John Nuttall, but he could get some assistance now from Henry Bell. He looks over his shoulder. Come on, come on. Let's get together. Let's work and go after the leader, John Nuttall. They come off of Stratford, down runway. Please give us a little nudge, says Alistair Tinker. Henry Bell is right behind him. We can go after the leader here. Let's work in unison. We can both take him on. Down the Hanger straight. And this is where the slipstream effect can really come in. Oh, he's gone rogue. He tried to go for it on his own. Henry Bell makes the bid there on the inside. And from nowhere, Alistair Tinker finds the gap on the inside at the Wilkins complex. How did he do that? Absolutely incredible. And as they go into the last lap, it's a complete change. Tinker has gone into the lead with an audacious overtake up at Wilkins. Now he's got to pull away from Nuttall with a hard-charging Henry Bell trying to close them up. Will Omar again pushing here to try and get back on terms with Harley Drake, the leader in junior. And now the nail-biting conclusion. They go up to the chicane for the last time. John Nuttall right in behind Tinker. It's now or never. They're on the final lap, and John Nuttall does not want to lose ground to Alistair Tinker. Hold your breath through, hang up. They'll flat out through the right-hand complex, and the 2 leaders still battling away in junior as we wait to see who is going to get the job done. But the checkered flag is in the air, and Alistair Tinker is going to hold on from John Nuttall and Henry Bell. What an amazing steal as Omar gets into the chicane, dives in on the final lap on Harley Drake and gets in front. What a steal on the final lap in junior from William Omar. His perfect record looks like it's going to remain, as the battle for third is going to go down to the wire as well between Ward and Edwards. They duel away. Edwards isn't happy. Ward gets through. Omar takes the win in junior in front of Drake, Harry Ward, and a fuming Brandon Edwards, whose kart has died on him on the run to the line. What a dramatic conclusion. Tinker gets the victory then from John Nuttall in front of Henry Bell, Eddie Nuttall and Oliver Greening. And in the juniors, Harley Drake does get the victory as a post-race penalty demotes William Omar to second ahead of Harry Ward and a very unhappy Brandon Edwards. More racing after the break.